Greetings, everybody. This is going to be another alien contact experience. First off, I would like to answer a question that I had in another video. A user commented, how many different types of gray alien races have I had contact with? My response to that is consciously about 2. But I'm more than sure that I've had contact with many more types of grays and many different types of races. When I was younger, I would always have weird stuff happen, and I would watch contact videos, people talking about their experiences, and I would think, why are weird things happening to me, but I have no contact? I have no recollection of any types of experiences and things of this nature. And I was very angry. And then after a while, I started having these experiences where I would get these messages in my head, do you wish to remember? And my automatic response was no. No. And the day after those types of thoughts and experiences, I would sit there and think, why don't I want to remember? Of course I want to remember. What is wrong with me? And I'd be so angry with myself. Why would I respond so quick without any type of... I wouldn't even think. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to remember. And now I understand why. It's because I would have a preconceived interpretation of every experience if I remembered those contact experiences. I needed to achieve balance and live in harmony to be ready for that amount of information. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to know. And that's why now I'm more than happy that everything happened how it did, but at that time I was very angry. On to my experience video. So first I would like to say before I explain this experience, is that in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say I am better or more powerful or more wise than the next person, interdimensional being, interstellar, anything you want to, however you want to label it. I'm not better. I'm not saying this. So before I explain this, please let that one sink in. So one night I was going to bed. I laid down and I do my breathing exercises. I like to play a little bit of relaxing meditation music every night that I go to sleep. And I was laying there and I was just having this storm of thoughts, just a bunch of, it was just like a movie in my head. I was flying around in my own head, thinking of scenarios and just having a great time in my own head. And so I fell in this trance really quick. I already didn't feel my body at all. I was just in my head, and just basically the perfect moment to astral project. But I wasn't trying to project. I was just relaxing. I was just thinking of things. And it was about 3 minutes or 4 minutes into this meditation that it was just the first song ended. I clearly remember this, and I had this image, like I was thinking of something, and boom, blank screen. My eyes are closed, blank, and all of a sudden I have this image of a gray, little baby gray. And I was looking at it, and it was like on the ground, and I picked it up, and I'm looking at it, and I just started expressing my love. I started saying, you're so beautiful, you're just a baby, and you're so small. And if you were mine, I would raise you. If I found you, I would raise you like my own. And I had this immense love, knowing that this is creation. I don't care what it looks like. And this is all running in my head. And you have to understand, please, people, understand that your thoughts run a lot faster. Your subconscious, it runs a lot faster. So I have so much more information, thought process running through me, so these emotions are just so vast. And out of nowhere, I had this type of, like, just imagine like a big boom, like if you've ever gotten startled by like a car crash, or just if you ever turn on your music and it's just blasting music so loud that it's just like the speakers are, just bouncing around. You can't even hear any word in the song. That plus like an electronic type of like gun. Best way I can explain it. Like mixed together. It was so loud and so frightening that it literally had me like twitch. It like I was laying on my bed on my back, and it had me like twitch, literally. But I didn't open my eyes, and in my eyes, I started seeing the grid, as in like energy around me, how it was just moving, and then with my eyes closed, and I could feel like there was an energy presence around me, and I just got this flash of this gray, like a grown gray, and he was screaming at me, saying, "This is like telepathically. If you've ever had any telepathic communication, these aren't words. He wasn't speaking English. He was basically like think of it this way: telepathic communication. It's sound, shape, color. It's basically images and frequencies. If you think to yourself, I want to get up, go to the store, buy food, and come home. You do not need to say this with words. You can imagine it. You will imagine how you're getting up, what everything around you would look like, the sound of you getting up, of you closing that door, shutting it, locking it, getting in your car, turning on your car, just all these things. And that's how basically telepathic communication works. That's the best way I can describe it right now. And so, just to paraphrase everything, the alien or the gray was telling me, how could you say you love it and you would raise it as your own if it is not of your kind? This isn't like your kind. This isn't yours. Why would you raise it? And yeah, he had a couple other things to say, but I was so startled and such like I didn't know how to respond at first, and then all of a sudden my brain started just pulsating, and all this information started running through my head, all these thoughts, and I realized at that moment, while I was still getting yelled at, that I have to make a stand for the humankind, the human race. I need to make my stand right now, because I understood one thing, is that this body, the human body, we have emotion and logic, and it is beautiful to combine them. And this being didn't understand that. They didn't know, they don't know emotion like we do. They are logic. They are logical beings. And so I knew I had to respond with, basically I didn't know what to respond with. I just had these thoughts, and I knew I had to say something. So my response was, long story short, paraphrasing everything, was logically, if we could say logically anything is possible, then what I am saying, that if I found this baby, young being, if I found it, and I say I will raise it as my own and I will love it, then I will. Then this is possible. Then logically it is possible that I'm telling the truth. And I had much more I was saying. I had a lot I was saying. But I felt how it backed off. It basically couldn't respond to me. And I basically told it, I feel that you have intruded my space. I would like you to leave. Leave now. And this is where I want everybody to remember what I said. I'm not trying to say that I'm better or that I'm more powerful, but the being didn't tell me I'm sorry, but I understood that that's what it felt like we understand, and it backed off, and it kind of flew out at a distance. It left my immediate space, but it didn't go too far. Like, I still had a telepathic connection to it. And that's when I opened my eyes, I sat up in my bed, and I just had these tears start going down and just dripping down my face, and I started explaining a lot of things that were in my mind at that moment. And it was a very meaningful experience to me, because on the next day after that, I just let my mind run. I explained everything I needed to, and I laid down, went to sleep. On the next day, I realized, I sat there and I contemplated how important it is for evolution, for everything, to find balance between our mind, body, soul, our emotions, our logic, and find balance in these two, and power it with energy and with your soul, and find your path, your life, just, and be happy with it, and just be. I had another experience with the Gray when I was younger, that I asked, why am I alive? Why am I here? And the only response I got is, just be. And I didn't understand that. I didn't feel it until later in life, when I knew that, when I started thinking to myself, to just be. To be one with all. And I'm not going to get too much into that, because that's a whole different subject, and I could talk about that for ages. But the path in life is different for everybody. What works for one may not work for another. An analogy I heard not too long ago was, when you come and incarnate onto this planet, incarnate, interesting wordplay, when you come into this body, the soul found the body, not the body found the soul. There are different types of vehicles. There are Lamborghinis, there are Hondas. One is faster than the other, but both get you from point A to point B. One vehicle might be more powerful than another, but they both do the same thing. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but the view is all the same. Balancing the vibrations of wholeness. I love you all. Have a wonderful day.